What's going on, guys? This is Resurrected Mods. Before we jump into the video, I just wanted to say thank y'all so much for being my subscribers and watching my videos. Um, as you can tell, it's probably been, I want to say probably 6 months or so since my last video. Um, I'm just too busy. I'm just too busy, and I'm not really gonna pursue YouTube anymore. Um, when I do videos like I do today, it'll be takeover videos, but it will mainly be just for the person that I did the takeover for so they can see what I did, how I did it, and so on and so forth. But as far as trying to make new content and trying to keep up with the latest and greatest, I do in the game. I just can't do that on YouTube. It takes way too much time to record the video, edit the video, post the video. Um, I'm coaching 2 soccer teams right now. I got a full-time job as construction superintendent. I just don't really have the free time, the luxury to be able to do YouTube videos as much as I would like. I wish I could record more and do more, but it's just where I'm at. So I'm not quitting YouTube per se. I'm just gonna be doing really spaced out videos, and I'm not quitting Raid as of right now. When Fateless comes out, that might be a different story. It just depends on how their game goes and how I like their game. But yeah, without further ado, let's jump into the video and do this account takeover for Zero or Zoil. I can't remember. I think it's Zero. But yeah, let's jump into it. Alright guys, this is going to be my first time looking at this account. So we're going to be looking at it together and kind of getting my first reaction. Um, don't feel bad if it's not a great reaction, but we'll see. We'll see. So it is Zero, and please, Raid, come on. It's 9.3 million player power. Now I know everybody says player power doesn't mean anything, and it really doesn't, but it does help you get a general idea of where the player is. So let's look at their champions. So we've got Lady Mikage, that's good. Let's see. He's got Phil, I like that. He's got Trunda. Wow, okay, so he's got a lot of really good champions. Like, really good. He's got Warlord. I know that's PvP, and we're mainly going to be doing dungeons. He's got Kaimar, that's good. He's got Seer with a 5-star awakening. Why are you running cruelty though? We're gonna change that. Yeah, she's got a lot of really good champions. Does he have Lydia yet? Yes, he does have Lydia, so that's good. Man, he's got really good champions for a 9 million player power account. So, Zero, when you do watch this, I'm just gonna take a look here. So we got Demon Spawn and we got Barbarian. And let's go check it out. Barbarians, we're 2 out of 10. And then Demon Spawn, we're 0 out of 10. Just in the future, this is your account, so you do whatever makes you happy. But in the future, me personally, I like to fill my Faction Guardians first before I start empowering champions. Just because you get more overall boost to your account, and other champions. Cancer is good, but she's really only used for Hydra. So you miss out on 10% HP or whatever for all your other barbarian legendaries, and then for here, same thing. You miss out on demon spawn boost. So just keep that in mind. I like to do Faction Guardian first. Oh wow, I didn't realize you have Shuzhen too. That's crazy. Okay, so what he wanted was, and he got 72 million silver. which that can go quick, as we all know. Let me pull up his messages.
One eternity later.
And for some reason, I can't find his messages. Okay, so I know he wanted dungeons for sure, and I'm like 99% sure he wanted Hydra as well. I am not a Hydra person, even though I do pretty good points on Hydra. I just don't enjoy Hydra. I don't like Hydra. I don't like building teams for Hydra. But we'll take a look at it. So, let's see here. We got Poison Explosion, okay. I'm just trying to look at the best teams and see what we got. Alright. So, dungeons. Let's tackle the most important ones first. So, Spider. Oh my goodness. We're not anywhere on Spider. Okay. That's gonna take some work, for sure. I know he's not even, yeah, figured he hasn't done Dragon. He has done Dragon, which is good. What is he using? Calvax? I don't know that I would use Calvax in this team. I think I would take Calvax out. And I'll find out who we're going to put in. But Calvax doesn't fit in that team. There are some teams that he can do it with, but that's not one of them. So, this one. No. Okay. Yeah, I'll figure that out. We'll go from there. I'll build him Dragon and Spider. I don't think I'm gonna tackle Fire Knight. Yeah, Fire Knight is extremely hard unless you have the right champions and the right builds. It's a struggle bus. I mean, he does have Patty, which is great because he's got this. And he does have this, but I don't think he's got enough. So I'm gonna cut out. I'm gonna work on some builds, and I will come back. Alright guys, we are back, and boy did that take a lot of work. I did a gear cleanse because for one, he had probably about 150 pieces of gear in his inbox, and he was completely full. So he's down to $13.99. I could do more of a gear cleanse. The problem is, not a lot of this gear is upgraded, and at somebody at his level, it's better to go ahead and upgrade the gear and then kind of see where you're at from there. For me, on my account, if it doesn't already start off with good stats or it's a 6-star mythical, I'm pretty much just going to sell it. I keep 6-star mysticals even with bad stats because if I triple or quad roll into the mystical stat that's already pre-upgraded, I will re-roll it and hopefully get something good. I've got a quad speed before. It wasn't, unfortunately, on a speed set, but anyway. But on his account, you kind of need to go through and upgrade all this gear and then see where you're at. You see here, he's got a lot of Savage, but none of it's upgraded. He's got a lot of Stun, no upgrade, no upgrade. Like, probably 80% of his gear is unupgraded. So that makes it really hard to do a gear cleanse, and also really hard to gear champions in general. So what did I do? We'll start off with Spider. I think Spider is important for him. He does have quite a few pieces in here, and I'll probably do a gear cleanse through here. Again, the problem is a lot of this is unupgraded, and here's another issue. You come into here and you go filter, and we'll do resist and accuracy, okay? And then we'll do speed, and you only have 86 of those. 205 resist and accuracy, but only 86 with speed. And of course, when you start rolling it, you start to see really where you're at. all three of those did not roll good. So that one rolled decent, but yeah. So that's kind of where it's at. And then let's do that. And then let's do crit damage. So we have 125 each of those. Let's do this or accuracy. So not too bad, but he definitely could be farming Spider Hard. So I went to Spider Hard and let's see where we're at. So keep in mind, I took him from Spider 25. It was 14 turns to Spider 10 with 11 turns. From my testing, it seems to be 100% successful. The only spot that I could see it possibly failing is if it was just horrible RNG and Lydia didn't land decreased speed or decreased defense and weaken on like 50% of the spiderling. But other than that, I don't really see it failing. Now, of course, I switched Seer from Cruelty to Crushing Wind. That allows her to ignore 35, or actually she's 5 stars, so let's see here. Where's 5 stars? Here. So 5-star allows you to ignore 1 for every 25 levels. We do 350 divided by 25. It's 14%. So she's ignoring 14% defense plus the savage, which is 25. So you're ignoring almost 40% defense with Crushing Wind. So yeah, let's go ahead and run it so I can show you guys how it works. I'll put it in slow. And so basically I sped up Kymar so he goes first. He's going to do that. Perfect. She's going to do that. She's going to buff up. He's going to buff up. And then Seer just going to nuke. It's okay that Seer gets slept because we have bad Alcazar. So we'll speed it back up. And Kymar is going to reset everybody. And then we're going to buff up. And then we're going to debuff. And then Kymar, or not Kymar, Bad Al is going to say, never mind. And even though we don't one-shot, the poisons are enough to kill it. So, yeah. It's pretty quick. It's nice. Let's see. Then the next thing I did was Dragon. Now, Dragon's a little bit harder because he's kind of limited on the champions that he has. But I took him from Dragon 6 hard, which was 1 minute and 3 seconds, to Dragon 9 hard. And it seems fairly consistent. Occasionally you don't land enough stuff and you do get one-shotted, but I mean, it is what it is. He doesn't really have the gear to push to 10 on this, and despite having Duchess, that's about the best build I could do on Duchess. Now, I could sacrifice a lot of resists, but I don't know exactly what he's using Duchess for, and I don't want to switch the build without, saying anything. But if you were to build for dungeons, you could definitely drop that resist down quite a bit, because you're not really needing to resist anything in dungeons. So you could drop that down and put a lot more survivability, possibly regen or immortal, to help with the healing. He's got a lot of champions that don't have blessings, and Duchess was one of them. And emergency heal on Duchess is amazing, even at a 1-star, because she's healing by 3% of her max HP whenever they break the shield. And this is on a 1-turn cooldown, so pretty much she takes a turn, she throws her shield up with her A1, they break it, she heals 3%, and then she takes another turn, and so on and so forth. Obviously, the higher you get, the better it is. I mean, a 15% heal on her max HP when she's 81,000, that's a pretty significant heal just from having her shield broken. So I put that on her, but we'll run it. And like I said, I don't know how consistent it is. He doesn't have all the energy in the world to keep testing, so I didn't want to waste all of his energy. But of course, Crushing Wind allows Seer to just absolutely destroy these waves. And then we go into the boss. and it's pretty much just relying on Ninja. I turned off Seer's nuke because you want as many buffs as possible to try to stay alive. Um, I don't want to strip stuff off that's going to help her stay alive, so I just turned that off on her. And hopefully, yeah, we'll get it taken down. Because Ninja's fixing to take a turn. Perfect. It's okay that everybody dies. In fact, it's kind of better because then she can put continuous heal on everybody. And then, I mean, it's a pretty straightforward, simple run. There's nothing fancy about this run. Again, I turned it off on Seer. She would have done an explosion by then, but I really want to keep Ninja and everybody else alive, so it's better that she doesn't nuke. Right here wouldn't be a bad spot for her to nuke, but again, just from the play setting that I did, it seemed a lot more consistent turning it off than leaving it on. So consistency is the key, so I just turned it off. And it should be ending here any second now. I think Ninja's next turn. Yep, there we go. Alright, so minutes 36 seconds, not bad for Dragon 9. Like I said, it's fairly consistent. I don't know that it's going to be 100%, but it's going to be a high percentage. And then the next one, which is the last one, but I would say this is the biggest improvement by far, is Fire Knight. Now, I didn't go into hard mode. He doesn't have Nut, and he doesn't have other good free champions. So Fire Knight hard mode is off limits for him right now. But from Fire Knight 25, from 7 minutes and 37 seconds, I took him down to 2 minutes and 26 seconds, which is a huge difference. This is at least farmable now. He can run Fire Knight and get decent gear. I had to re-gear Allure and Kaimar, which Kaimar I kind of just re-geared for everybody, made him faster. His last build didn't really make a whole lot of sense. He was like 230 speed, maybe 240 speed, but didn't have any accuracy or anything like that, so he was just kind of not doing anything. So I put as much survivability stats on him as I could. Look at this player power, that's horrible. So he's got 48 and 3,000, and these are at 8, so he can get more survivability out of that, and possibly if he lands on that, I don't really see the need to upgrade it right this second. But I took his speed all the way up to 285, and I kept his accuracy the same just in case he was using it for anything. But he actually got more survivability out of this build. So we'll run this build pretty straightforward. I have Lady Mikage switching to her stun mode. Pretty much right out the bat, just to be safe. She switches right here. She goes into stun. Now, right here, I could nuke, but I don't have enough buffs. So I made it to where she buffs up with the crit rate. And then on her next turn, she nukes. And then typically she was nuking everybody, but it was unfortunate we didn't land decreased defense. But it's okay, we'll take this guy down here in a couple of seconds. And come on, see ya. There we go. And then pretty much Kaimar resets and everybody does the same thing. And hopefully we don't get screwed on a decrease. There we go. We didn't get screwed. So she did the buff up again, and then she's going to nuke right here. Perfect. Now we go into the boss. This is going to be a slow run because I did pause it. And we did, unfortunately, get resisted on the decreased speed. So I have tried and tried and tried. And she just did it right there. That's weird. Sometimes she doesn't switch. I don't understand. Sometimes she doesn't switch. But she did there. So that's good. And it's pretty much just Allure keeping the turn meter down and Seer just nuking. I sped Allure up to like 270 something. I did die 1 point, and that's because Allure had like 220 speed. But at this 270 speed, she seems to keep the turn meter down to nothing pretty much all the time. So, and she's not even fully glyphed out, so he could always glyph her more. But like I always tell people, why change something if it's already working? Unless you're going to make a significant change, just throwing glyphs on a lure isn't really going to make that big of a difference. So I don't see the point in doing it. It's a pretty boring run. It's just seer nuke and a lure turn meter control, and everybody else just kind of does their thing. So, I'm not able to get to Hydra or Arena or anything like that. I think that, um, Zero, when you're watching this, I think that you need to focus on just getting gear upgraded and constantly doing gear cleanses and looking for better gear before you really push your focus towards Hydra. Um, there's a lot of champions that need work. There's a lot of builds that don't necessarily make sense, and I'll get into that as soon as this one's over. Like I said, I paused this one and we did get resisted on the decreased defense, so it's running a little bit longer, but it's been running for me about 2 minutes and 30 seconds. So let's jump into the build real quick, just to kind of show you what I'm talking about. So Mathrala right here, it's a decently nice build, but with 214 speed, I don't know exactly where you're using her. If you want to use her for Hydra, I would definitely boost her speed up to about 250 and try to keep the survivability stats where they are. You can actually lose some HP. Now, if this is for Arena, you don't have enough accuracy for Arena. You would definitely want a lot more accuracy. So let's go into here. Warlord. Warlord is a decent build, but you are really struggling on the accuracy and the speed. Um, I don't see you using him very much in Arena, and just your speed gear in general, I would definitely be farming Dragon and pay attention to protection. I tell people that I talk to all the time, protection is pretty much the new speed gear meta. You can get quite a bit of speed out of it, um, and you get other stuff out of it. You get HP resist, protected buff. So, um, I've shown people my Siffy build. My Siffy has over 400 speed, and I've only got 2 speed sets on her. Or 1 speed set, but 2 pieces of speed gear on her. Everything else is protected and just other things. So you're not really going straight speed anymore. So just kind of pay attention to other stuff and always be upgrading 6-star gear that has speed on it. You'll never know where you'll use it, but if it rolls a quad roll on the speed, you'll probably be using it somewhere. Righteous is good too. You get speed as well, and actually Pinpoint and Supersonic is also really nice. And Supersonic is actually really nice for somebody like Warlord or Armand, because this right here fills the champion turn meter by 2% per each buff on each enemy. With 1 Siffy move, she does 3 buffs on 4 champions. That's 12%. Right? Or that's a 12 buff. So 12 times 2, that's 24% like turn meter boost in 1 turn. And if he's already pretty fast, typically they'll cut in. So having Warlord or Armand in Supersonic is like the next meta to do. Now you can also do Supersonic on a speed booster because increases any fill turn meter effect cast by this wearer by 30%. And it's been proving on Arbiter, this is extremely strong, especially when you're also cutting in. So you can win some speed races with supersonic, even if you're not going first. And then pinpoint is the new gear. It's kind of like a weaker version of perception with the chance of intercept. I think that's good for debuffers like Armand or Warlord. Um, it increases their speed and it gives them the chance to not be crowd control. Now, Warlord will still go through this. Intercept does not stop um, cooldown effects. So just keep that in mind. If you go against somebody and you have pinpoint on you and you think that you're going to resist or block their cooldown effect, that will not work. But yeah, just work on upgrading your gear, doing gear cleanses constantly. So other than that, you're doing all right. Like I said, I got you faster teams. Hydra is a ways away from that. I don't know. I don't even know that I could build you a solid Hydra team. I mean, I could get you a normal team, probably using Gruptic and Trunda and Shujin. But other than that, I mean, you don't really have that many like overpowered Hydra champions. So you're really gonna struggle. You don't have Nut, you don't have Acravia. Um, so pretty much your only team that you could build that would just absolutely destroy would be a Trunda team. And I can tell you right now with the stats that you have, Trunda is not gonna hit for what you think she will. Um, Even with Gruptic, even with Battle Kazar, Trunda's still gonna struggle. Um, but yeah, just keep working on your gear, and we'll get there eventually. I'll help you build a Hydra team once you get better gear. And as far as all the other dungeons, I looked. You're gonna struggle on Sand Devil. I probably can't get you any higher, and the same thing for Phantom, because you don't have Emic or you don't have any type of cheese. So it's going to be difficult to get through those. But uh, for those of you that aren't zero, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like I said at the very beginning, I am not stepping away from Raid. I'm going to keep playing. I just won't be able to record videos as much as I would like to. And I'm going to kind of have to cut back on how much editing I do. I think on this video, I'm just going to do simple cuts and trimming, and that's pretty much it. I'm just going to post it as is. So, I hope you guys enjoy the video, and I will see you guys on the next one.